Empire's on the run. Alex Jones and the GCN Radio Network.
Do you know what it means to be an American? It's more than a flag. It's more than knowing the Star-Spangled Banner. It's knowing the Constitution. It's understanding those rights and fighting for them. Our country's falling apart because people have forgotten to fight, to stand up in the face of tyranny and do the right thing. It's putting your life on the line to protect your country from enemies both foreign and domestic. The Bill of Rights is what the people are entitled to against every government, and no government should refuse or rest on inference. So the Tree of Liberty must be refreshed from time to time with the blood of patriots and tyrants. I'm Joe Biggs with Infowars.com, and I believe our flag is more than cloth and ink. It is a symbol that stands for liberty and freedom. It is a history of our nation, and it's marked by the blood of those who died defending it. So join me in this info war. Turn off your TV, put your Cheetos down, get off your butt, and join the resistance.
The experts are clear. Sunlight, purified water, healthy non-GMO food, and having a good attitude is essential to a healthy immune system. But I go further with Super Nascent Iodine X2 from InfoWarsLife.com. 50% stronger than our original and revolutionary Nascent Iodine formula, coming from a deep earth crystal source that no other supplier has. Most other forms of iodine come from seaweed in areas plagued by Fukushima and other contaminants. Not our iodine. It comes from over 200-million-year-old crystal salt deposits and is tested and proven to be completely pure. Visit InfoWarsLife.com today. See the informational videos. Read the information they're compiled. And for a limited time, when you use promo code NOW at checkout, you get an additional 5% off the entire family of InfoWarsLife.com products. Secure your Survival Shield X2 today at InfoWarsLife.com or call toll-free 888-253-3139. Introducing Secret 12, the new InfoWars Life vitamin B12 formulation. Secret 12 is a binary of nutramedical-grade, bioavailable coenzyme forms of B12, methylcobalamin, the same kind used in B12 injections, and adenosylcobalamin. Secret 12 is simply taken by mouth, right on the tongue, and then swallowed. No needles, no injections. Secure your revolutionary Secret 12 formula right now at InfoWarsLife.com or call 888-253-3139. Used since before the days of the Roman Empire to support the body's natural systems. Introducing the new InfoWarsLife.com oil of oregano formulation. We have now procured the most high quality and potent forms of oregano oil on the market. Extracted directly from the wild herb and sealed in easy-to-use capsules. You will no longer need to endure the burning of liquid oregano on the tongue. Now available in our limited first run at InfoWarsLife.com. That's InfoWarsLife.com or call 888-253-3139.
I want to tell you about Texas radio with a big B. Comes out of the Virginia swamps, cool and slow with money and precision. The backbeat narrow and hard to master. Some call it heavenly in its brilliance, others mean and rueful of the Western dream.
If you are receiving this transmission live from Austin, Texas, broadcasting worldwide, you are the Resistance. It's Alex Jones.
Welcome back to the Alex Jones Show. I'm David Knight, your host today on this Monday, April 20th, 2015. Joining me in the studio now is Leanne McAdoo. Leanne, the article that was up at the top of the Drudge Report earlier today was this new book about Hillary Clinton and Bill Clinton as well, called Clinton Cash. She's been trying to appear to be one of the people. She went to Chipotle and got her picture taken at the Chipotle. Of course, nobody recognized her, so the staff went in there and got the security footage and showed it to the press. But anyway, so that's kind of sparked off this whole competition with Marco Rubio and Jeb Bush trying to be a more common man, trying to relate to us through going to Chipotle and getting fast food, I guess.
Right.
But now this is pretty much going to be fatal to her, I think. I don't know. It's hard to say. I think people in the Democrat Party are really getting fed up with it because that's one thing they don't like to see is somebody that's really milking the system. However, she is a woman.
Right.
So we should vote for her no matter how corrupt.
Yes. Once again, Hillary Clinton is the poor victim here. It's not that she's been corrupt and, giving out friends with benefits type thing here through her State Department with some of these foreign entities. But she's basically saying that this book is just, it's just more partisan politics and that it's all conspiracy theories and things like that. But the author of this book goes into really great detail and meticulously sources everything that all the claims that he's bringing forth in this book. So this isn't something that she can just brush off as a conspiracy theory.
Now, Rand Paul had talked about it, said he thought it was going to be pretty devastating. The New York Times actually got a copy of it yesterday. They wrote an article yesterday based on an advanced copy that they got of it, and they've got some clips in it. Let's play the comment from Rand Paul, though. Everybody is laughing at Hillary. She's essentially becoming a caricature. I mean, you've even got Saturday Night Live taking hits at her. That can be pretty devastating. I remember when they did that to Gerald Ford, playing up the idea that he was constantly falling over things or hitting his head on things, and they basically made a laughing stock of him. Hillary, on the other hand, is somebody that is obviously very hungry for power. She is courting this power from the most powerful of the financial community, and that's not going to sit well with a lot of people in her party. But this is what Rand Paul had to say.
I'm starting to worry that when Hillary Clinton travels, there's going to need to be two planes, one for her and her entourage and one for her baggage. I'm concerned that the plane with the baggage is really getting heavy and teetering. And I'm concerned, really, that there probably will end up being more of a primary than anybody thinks over there.
Yeah, I think basically he was using that baggage as a double entendre, not just about her vast personal wealth, which she said that, she really struggled when they left the White House.
They were dead broke, just like us.
Yeah, exactly. And on that note, there was another article on the Drudge Report. By one measure, Hillary earned more than America's top 10 CEOs, and that one measure was, what does she make per hour? Well, she makes about $300,000 per hour. She gets $300,000 for a 1-hour speech. And so they say, well, if you look at what the top 10 CEOs make and you break that down per hour, you've got the number 2 guy making $63,000 an hour. You've got the second best paid CEO on the Forbes list gets $32,000. The third one down gets $31,000 an hour. I think that's pretty excessive compensation. I don't know how anybody is worth that much in any corporation. I mean, that's just robbery. But Hillary Clinton makes $300,000 per hour.
Right.
Okay.
Going to colleges to champion how students need to not be saddled there with debt from their schooling, and it's going to pay for people like her to come speak for
exactly student funds. These what they're having to pay is going to go to Hillary Clinton, and she lectures them on turning over all their money.
Right.
That's interesting.
Yeah, the Clintons' income was at least $136.5 million from 2001 to 2012, according to this book. So yeah, dead broke.
Yeah. Well, see, the thing is that we're getting these elections where it's going like $2 billion, for the candidates to go through there. They buy a lot of media. The media is for sale. And we should really question, though, what they're getting for this. As I mentioned before, H.L. Mencken said an election is an advanced auction of stolen goods. She's getting a lot of money from foreign corporations. And, of course, he points out that those foreign corporations, when they gave money to the Clinton Foundation, they got favorable treatment at the State Department. So the guy who wrote this book, Clinton Cash, The Untold Story of How and Why Foreign Governments and Businesses Helped to Make Bill and Hillary Rich. That could be really devastating to her.
Right. And again, it's not that there's this dynasty and that Americans just want to vote for this dynasty. They continue to choose the Bushes and the Clintons because their track record is proven. They will consistently vote for the policies that are going to put more money in the pockets of their rich, wealthy friends and corporations. So that's a business. Businesses, they don't take risks when they're betting. So the Clintons and the Bushes are, you know, a solid
it's a huge
bet.
return on investment.
Right.
If you go back and you look at the money that corporations give to these politicians and then the kind of contracts that they get in return, they can't do any better investment. And that's essentially the problem. You're never going to be able to stop this by legislation. You're going to have to remove the power and the money out of Washington.
Right.
Because otherwise it is this black hole for power, for corruption, and no matter, it creates this gravitational force that is going to pull the corruption in no matter what you do. So you're going to have to take away that consolidated mass there. One of the things they pointed out in the New York Times article was that in 2010, there was $1 million, they said there was $1 million in this book, they point out, in payments to Clinton by a Canadian bank and a major shareholder in the Keystone Pipeline.
Right.
Now, one of the things that we see, and I mentioned earlier, Clinton was a huge backer of NAFTA. He sold it to everybody as something that was going to create jobs. Instead, it eviscerated jobs, especially manufacturing jobs in this country. But we see that Keystone Pipeline, for example, they have given the Canadian company that is running this thing, they have given them the rights of eminent domain where they can condemn land in America, take land from farmers that have had it in their family for over 100 years, and giving that condemnation power to a foreign corporation. That's what NAFTA looks like. That's what TPP looks like. And the way they get it is by buying influence with people like the Clintons, like the Bushes. And we ought to understand that this is not just a Hillary problem. There's another article here. Jeb Bush funneled $2 billion in Florida pension funds to his brother's pioneer donors. These are people who donated so much money that they got pioneer status. They were bundlers, okay? They would bundle this money together. And I don't really understand the nuances of the election law. I don't understand how what they did as a bundler is different from what Dinesh D'Souza did when he went to jail, okay? He was just naively trying to participate in the process. These guys, though, they go through, they understand the laws because they wrote them. So he's got 11 firms that received new Florida pension investments under Jeb Bush that were all pioneer backers of his brother when he ran for president. So it happens with both parties, and especially with these two royal families.
Right, absolutely. And here, you know, we see these big donors, if their guy gets into the presidency, they'll end up getting these cushy jobs. Maybe they'll be the ambassador to some small country or something like that. So of course, when you have foreign donors, they're expecting a little bit of kickback as well. And a lot of the countries, Rand Paul is pointing out, if there's really a war on women, well, why don't you return some of the money from Saudi Arabia, the United Arab Emirates, or Brunei, where people there are being murdered for being gay, you know, or for or beheadings.
Yeah, there's a real war on
imprisonment for women.
Yeah, there's a real war on women. It's not a metaphorical war on women. There is a real war on women in Saudi Arabia. Of course, there are close allies.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. They're the worst of the worst when it comes to human rights ranking. They're, again and again, the worst of the worst. And so that's what it is. We'll give you millions of dollars. I think it was like $7.3 million from Saudi Arabia from 1999 till 2014. So millions of dollars funneling in, and it's almost like we're going to give you all this money so that you'll look away from what we're doing to the people of our own country. And, you know, because typically we would be putting economic sanctions against these countries with these atrocious human rights records, but not Saudi Arabia, not the United Arab Emirates, not Brunei.
No, absolutely not. Yeah, it's amazing. It'll be interesting to look at this in greater detail. As I pointed out, this is an article, New York Times. You'll find that linked on the Drudge Report. The book is Clinton Cash, The Untold Story of How and Why Foreign Governments and Businesses Helped to Make Bill and Hillary Rich. Yeah, they were rich. They were not just scraping by, she pointed out, when they came out. But I thought it was also interesting that this phony position that she's got going on. At the same time, all this is the reality of Hillary Clinton. The persona that she's trying to project is she's going across the country in this silly little van episode, and she goes into a Chipotle and she has her picture taken. And then, if that wasn't bad enough, Jeb Bush and Marco Rubio have to join in the gang, okay? And they have to go in to Chipotle and say, I do tip, because she got criticized for not tipping, okay? The guy said, oh, yeah, I remember her. Yeah, they didn't leave any money and everything. So Marco Rubio goes in and says, no, I always tip. And then he had to walk that back because when he talked to the guy that was with him, his staff, he says, oh, well, no, we didn't, but we typically always tip. That kind of stuff. And then Jeb Bush says, well, I drive to Chipotle myself. Because Hillary Clinton says that she hasn't driven since 1996, okay?
Yeah.
So, yes, I'm not an elitist being a member of the Bush family. I drive to Chipotle myself. I pick the stuff up, and I drive it home, and I eat it, okay? The reality is that George H.W. Bush, I remember when the guy was campaigning for president,